guys, back making my second contest entry for the day, and then gonna try to get some rest or something. Um, this time it's for Vincru12000. Again, still sick, so forgive me if I lack excitement. I don't feel very well at all. But anyways, Vincru12000 hit 150 subs, and again, 150 subs, less than 50 videos. It took me to hit 100 subs, and I had, I think, well over 100 videos. And now I have just slightly more, I think I have slightly more subscribers than I do videos. So I average maybe like 2 subscribers a video, maybe 1.5. So, a lot of people doing very well in the community, and Vincru is no different. And definitely like his questions that he asked us to answer, which I'll just jump into right away. First question, I got them open right here, so that's why I'm looking over here. Favorite and or most memorable storylines in your own history of reading comics? Actually, no, never mind. Well, I'll give an honorable mention. I got my comics right next to me, so I can quickly sift through all of this stuff. I'll give an honorable mention to Avengers vs. X-Men, just because it was the first comic I ever bought. Not ever bought, I should say, first comic I bought going into collecting the way I do now. I had bought like 3 comics before then in my life. I don't even remember what. Well, I actually do have one of them still. It's a Star Wars comic. But anyways, so AVX gets an honorable mention. And then he really, broke my balls on this one, trying to think of a bunch of storylines. I decided to take only one storyline from some of my favorite runs of things that have gone on. And I try to stay away from trades, but there are some that I just could not ignore. And so let's just do the top one, and that is this Daredevil. I just pick random issues from the storylines. This is the Daredevil storyline that really went on for a lot of issues, but really kicked into gear around issues 21, 22, 23 range. This whole Bullseye story arc in Mark Waid's run, incredible, absolutely incredible run. Incredible story. Just the way the twists with everything and the way things built. Anybody who read it saw exactly what I'm talking about. Put that right there. Next one, very new, but still just sticks with me because this is Deadpool issue number, it's 15, but this is the first issue of the Good, the Bad, the Ugly story arc in this new Posehn and Dugan Deadpool. This is probably one of the best Deadpool arcs I've ever read. Probably one of the best, if not the best, that's ever been written. Just because it's so much different, so much more serious, and just such a well-written story. I recommend anybody, Deadpool fan or not, pick this up because this lacks a lot of the qualities that people hate in Deadpool, and highlights a lot of the qualities that people would like to see in Deadpool. So this is the book for everybody. The Good, the Bad, the Ugly story arc in Deadpool, this Marvel Now stuff. This one's a mini-series that I just can't ignore because I think about it all the time. Daredevil, End of Days. This is pretty much the end story for Daredevil. wow, I hated that this only came out once a month, because 8 issues of once a month, 8 months. I waited for actually 9 months because one of them skipped a month, and so every month just such a good issue. Just every month had a teaser at the end of the issue, and then the way things folded together by the end of this, I didn't expect it until where we started reaching towards the end, and I was like, whoa, that's a really cool idea. And only then started to think about it because they started leaving you some clues, and just so good. This is probably one of the better Daredevil story arcs that have been told. Brian Michael Bendis has an amazing voice for the character. He's probably the best Daredevil writer that's been around, even over Frank Miller, which a lot of people might disagree with, but a lot of people might agree with as well. Bendis is a premier writer, and he shows up later on my countdown as well. This one is here just for sentiment, really. This is Deadpool from the Daniel Way run, The Dead story arc, where Deadpool loses his healing factor. This is just the first story arc I finished in my comics collecting, and I just thought it was really fun when I read it. It's an arc I've read a couple times, and I still have a lot of fun with it. And there's a moment in this book, or in this arc, in the last issue of this arc, I think it is, that Deadpool actually has, Wade Wilson, he actually has a moment that is reflective of the qualities that are highlighted in the good, the bad, the ugly, some of the serious moments that lacked a lot in this whole run. But that was one of the really impressive moments in this book, and that's kind of what puts it over the edge as why I have it as one of my memorable story arcs. And then this one, one of my favorite story arcs I've ever read. The Savage 6 story arc in Venom, the final story arc for Rick Remender. This was fantastic, and look at that cover. I want to give people the trade for this arc, so they can understand what I talk about when I talk about what Venom was before Cullen Bunn took it over, because it was never the same as with Remender. Remender is an amazing writer. He's probably my favorite writer, and just love that book. And then I have to give mention to the one trade that I allowed myself to put on here, and that's really kind of doubling up on two trades. Is what I'm going to say is pretty much this one is the Death of Spider-Man and Ultimate Spider-Man, and I'm also going to say the first story arc in Ultimate Spider-Man, which I have in the Ultimate Spider-Man Omnibus. Both of those, the Death and the first one, they both almost made me cry when I read them. This one, I knew Spider-Man was going to die, and when it happened, it just hit me with like a hammer, man, like a sledgehammer. Bendis knows, but even though Bendis killed the character that I love so much, he did it with respect, and he didn't take the character out like Dan Slott did. And it's just he met a good death, and it was just very well written, very sad at the same time. Same thing that happened with the first arc in Ultimate Spider-Man. Everybody knows Uncle Ben dies, and yet when it happened, the way Bagley lays out the panels and tells a story with the art just hit me so hard I had to put the book down and walk away. Man, that was big time. But so yeah, those are the arcs, the stories that pop out in my mind. There's a lot more too. Pretty much the whole Remender run on Venom, I could say. But continuing on, two YouTubers that I believe need more recognition. One being the Snow Wabbit, or not Snow and then Wabbit, but kind of like put together where the W, yeah. And I'll have links to their channels down below. The Snow Wabbit, who's a great guy, has great videos, and the same goes for DJ Lil Ro, or DJ Little Ro. I always want to say Lil, but it doesn't have that I-L-I, it's actually Little. DJ Little Ro is an awesome guy as well, always on my channel commenting, and he puts out great videos and doesn't have nearly the amount of subscribers that he deserves. And the same thing with the Snow Wabbit, who I just recently have come into contact with, but is just already a great guy. So check those two guys out. I don't want my video to die out, so congrats again to Vincru, and this is it for me, guys. I'm Wellington, signing off for the Comic Lowdown. See you guys next time.